How you doing? This is my native Watercraft Slayer Max Propel 12.5. It's 2022 model. I've had it for 2 seasons now, and I absolutely love it. So I just got back from an IKBF event, so I'm giving it the hose, try to knock off any of those little invasive critters that might have hopped on there. We have a problem with mussels here in the Northwest. When it's all dried off, I'm going to give you guys a walkthrough of the boat, show you all the accessories I put on there, everything I've upgraded to over the past 2 years from my previous boats, and it might give you some ideas whether you're looking for new accessories or wanting to get into one of these. But it's not going to be a typical walkthrough. I'm actually going to show you guys why I upgraded to mostly YakAttack accessories compared to my old stuff, and why in some cases YakAttack might not be the best bet. So if you're looking for new accessories, you're thinking about getting into one of these boats, hang out. All right, so she's all dried off. Time to walk you guys through some rigging. I'm going to take all the stuff on this table and put it onto the boat. We're also going to talk about some stuff I used to put on my boats that don't ride anymore. I guess we'll start with the paddle holder because it's already on there. So this is the double header. Now I used to run this Yak Gear Amazon knockoff job and it did the trick, but it's just cheaper made. My bungee's already broke on it, and you'll see how it's really triangular shaped, so it would be a lot more wobbly, whereas the YakAttack double header is much wider at the base, so it's just a lot more stable. Spend the extra money, man. Go with the double header. Now, of course, you'll notice that my boat has this massive seat console in it. These do not come on the new boats, but you do get a sweet swivel chair. It's probably a little bit lighter, and it also has ports for accessories on both sides. You can even like mount a little throttle on there. They're pretty cool, but I dig this. So the whole thing is adjustable back and forth on tracks, just like on the new boats. But with this, you get these really wicked pockets for your nips, your pliers, your fish grips with tether points. And I usually drop my snacks on that side. And this really cool slot that goes behind the seat, so you can drop a 3700 tackle box in there. Then you have all this deck storage under your seat. It's freaking wicked. I like it. All right, so of course I like to run it in the highest position, and then it just screws in with these thumb nuts, and then you got some more bungees that connect on back. Now here's a couple little hacks for you. I take this neoprene with a Velcro strip. It's called cable schlock. You can get it on Amazon, and I run it around my seat straps. Keeps them nice and soft and cush. They don't get caught on me or rub on my sides. Now as for the seat pad, I did kind of cheap out on this one. I didn't feel like waiting for a kayak cushion to come. I really needed it for a tournament, so I just ran into a sporting goods store and bought this deer stand cushion. It does fine. I've kept it on there, and it's much cheaper. It was only like 20 bucks than the kayak cushions. They're a little spendy, but they're a quality product. It's a cool company. They actually deserve your money. I will be upgrading to a kayak cushion, but for now, this is doing the job. So if you need one quick, that's the way to go. So I haven't done any permanent cockpit lighting yet, so this is kind of another place where I went a little cheap. You get 4 of these at Walmart for 8 bucks, man. Just strap it to your seat post. Totally works. Why not? Okay, now we're getting into the good stuff. I love this thing. The good old YakAttack Black Pack Pro. Check it out. It's got all my tackle in it and then some. Now this upgrade's obvious no-brainer. I mean, obviously this works great, super cheap, really light, but come on, man. This is trick and worth every penny. Now the Black Pack Pro only comes with 6 rod holders, but I added 2 to the back. And of course it bungee locks in all the way around. Let's see what we got in here. Next item I want to talk about. The Omega Pro rod holder by YakAttack. Last rod holder you'll ever need. I'll tell you why. So I used to run these Scotty rod holders for trolling, and it's a cool system. I got a lot of great use out of this. This thing has a lot of fish on it. Problem is, when you run it off on the left side, which I usually do, when a fish would hook, boom, this thing would want to unscrew off your rail. It was pretty frustrating, and I lost a few fish because I lost the parabolic bend on my rod. Now the YakAttack Omega Pro, on the other hand, is a far superior rod holder. It's way more open, it's easier to get your rods in and out of there. It's shaped for all different sizes of reels. It even comes with this locking ring, but I just took that off because it just kind of got in my way. And of course I added a few arms on here for full articulation, but what I really love is this locking system. Drop it on there, push the button, and that thing ain't going nowhere. And when it is on, you just hold the button in, you can kind of lift it, turn it, and it's locked into place. And it comes off just that easy too. Okay, what else do I have in here? My kayak food and big ticket items. tackle boxes. Now I really dig these planos. They're really cool because of the one-handed opening. They're really easy to open and close. The 3700s get a little bit tricky. The 3600s are way easy. I actually like these better. But what I really love is the way this hull is designed and where I can store all these. Got all my favorite jigs here. Got all my favorite square bills and top waters in here. Lock them into place. Pre-rigged soft plastics and terminal tackle right there under my butt. And all my deep divers go right here behind the seat. So cool. Then of course you got your YakAttack Track Pack Pickpocket Quick Draw. I love this thing. Check it out. This little guy just drops right onto there and you got an instant glove box. Got my air horn, a knife, prop wrench, some spike it, some bait fuel. I want to talk to y'all about this. This bait fuel stuff is pretty cool. I have confidence in it, but the bottle's a little big to get into my track pack there. So I just pour a little bit into a smaller, slender bottle. Plenty for weeks on the water, no problem. Leave this at home. So basically the only tackle that I keep in the black pack while I'm on the water are my worm binders. I love these Gamakatsu bags. Nice, solid canvas, wire opening, real wide. Here's something kind of trick. I actually take these little binder clips, like that's all my drop shot worms, you know, and I could just kind of flip through them and check out what I want to use and just crack open the corner and pull one out. Hey, shout out to Bunker Baits. And those are all my straight tail worms. Shout out to Radar Bait Company. They have a couple different sizes. This is the bigger one for all my creature baits. Same thing, nice wide opening. Keep all my craws there and my swim baits there. Hey, shout out to Pacific Northwest Bass Candy. Buy local, y'all. Oh, and sometimes my hydration ride's in there too. Real important. Another thing I love about this boat is the hatch space. Look at this. Great battery compartment and plenty of space in the hull under the tray. I'll throw the tray in here in a second, but check this out. I just got back from a long fishing trip and that hull is bone dry. I do keep a sponge in there in case wetness does get in there. It's kind of like my bilge sponge. And also keep a dry bag up under there in case I catch any meat I want to hang on to. And those just hang out there. Let's throw in the liner. Just kind of pull your string out of the way and that liner just drops right in for you. And all this stuff is going to get distributed through the boat. Throw in our fish grips and clip it in there. Pliers, clip it in there. Nips, clip them on there. There's a molded in cup holder, but it's kind of shallow. It's a little bit useless. So I take a Yeti cooler and throw some of my wife's hairbands around there. Boom, sticks in there nice and tight. And I can throw spent lures in there. And this little side stash is perfect for beef jerky or seeds or snacks. As for batteries, all I'm powering is a depth finder. So I got 12 amp hours there. Still plenty of room. Well, that will get me about 2 days, but what if I want to fish longer? Here's an extra 9 amp hours. That'll get me for like 4 days, easy. Let's plug this sucker in because I'm going to be firing up that little Rance. And there's still plenty of room for my incidental bag. So that leaves this compartment empty. Oh, I forgot to mention the YakAttack through hull kit. They come in a bunch of different sizes, an entry and an exit. Absolute must for a clean install. Bonus. PFD and phone tether. No problem. And resting on another YakAttack item, it's the rectangular depth finder mount, is my 9-inch Lowrance hook. These things are awesome. Is it the best unit in the world? No. But as of filming this, Lowrance is blowing out these hook units. This is an $800 unit. You can get it for 400 bucks right now. And they'll probably be like that for a good couple of months, so hop on it. Shields, Cabela's, places like that. Thing's great, man. It's big enough to where I can run chirp sonar, GPS, down imaging, side imaging, all at the same time and see everything perfectly clearly. It does take a second to boot up, though. Once I've got it booted up, of course, I'm no longer at Lake Cascade, so it has no idea where the hell I'm at. But chirp, down imaging, side imaging, all at one time. It's freaking awesome. And I keep a handy Velcro strap on there just to secure that cable. And one more YakAttack item. You have to have these fish tournaments and just to be safe on the water. And of course, in our tournaments, we have to run an event flag if we're in Washington. I just keep it on there all the time. Now, this is the rigid pole. It's not the one that breaks down. I always worry about those cables snapping on the inside of them. It's YakAttack, so it shouldn't be a deal, and it's, you know, lifetime warranty. But, you know, I went for the rigid one. It's about $20 cheaper. And it comes with a regular orange flag that doubles as a bag, but of course, this one doesn't break down, so there's no point in the bag. And the light, it's LED, so a couple of AA batteries last all day. And of course, you're going to need a catch board. Now, this is one of those cases where I prefer the poly catch board over the YakAttack measuring stick. It's a little unwieldy, it's kind of big, it has these moving parts. You can color your catch and stuff, and that's kind of cool. But I don't think that the KBF has actually approved them yet. They're still on the fence about it. KFNW has approved it, so you can use it in the Northwest, but I prefer this. And if you go to tintags.com, you can order your code card on tin. It's printed on there, and your codes are not coming off there unless you use alcohol or bug dope. That's on there with Sharpie, and it's great in photos, easy to see, so I highly recommend that. And it just so happens that the catch board fits perfectly right across the back here, and then I just clip it into my YakAttack cleat, and it's always there. I just have to reach back and grab it. But there's another reason for those cleats. Now, the second job of these cleats is for my kayak cart. Now, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna wet launch, but you never know what the shape the ramp's gonna be in, or how many boats are gonna be there, or if there's a ramp at all, you might want to beach launch. So, you need a kayak cart. Yeah, that's my stow and go. Okay, it's another scenario where I believe the YakAttack Stow and Go is far superior to landing gear on a boat this size, and this is why. Now, I tried landing gear, but unfortunately you have to mount it behind your seat, which means you're gonna have to get rid of your grips. And it goes down at a slant, so no matter what, with a boat like this, it's 12.5 plus, it is gonna be very nose heavy unless you move everything to the back. And then when you get to the water, you've gotta tip your boat, pull out one, and then lay your boat down crooked, and then pull out the other, or you could try to water launch it and pull them out while they're in the water, but I had the inflatable wheels, that was impossible. It was just a giant, expensive headache. The Stow and Go is easier. This is my deal. With the Stow and Go cart, I can land it wherever I want it. I put it right under the seat, and the boat weight is perfectly even. I can carry the boat with a finger. Now, even though this thing breaks down into small pieces, it is solid and heavy duty. The one problem I had was I fell off a ramp sideways and kept trying to pull it up, and it ended up dislodging one of my tires a little bit. And it still functions, but you see where the tabs got kind of torn out? I called YakAttack, sent them a picture of it, and in 3 days, I not only had a new tire, they sent me an entire new wheel. They didn't ask for a receipt or nothing. They just sent it out. It was rad. They were super cool. So that's why I'm a huge fan of YakAttack. And there's so much room on this rear deck, I could actually just take it on the water, clip those straps in, good to go. And definitely check out Burley Pro for their rudder kits. That thing is so much more comfortable now. And their keel guard kits. They're awesome, must-haves. I can't put my motor down all the way because it's on the trailer, but I have a YakAttack grip right there, so my landing net lives right there. Of course, when the motor's all the way down, you get the picture. Always handy. And speaking of propel drive, if you get one of these, you need to buy a pin spanner and a crank puller so you can do service on that guy. It's easy. All right, so there it is, all rigged up and ready to rock. I guess I'm going catfishing. The hell? Okay, I'm sure I missed a few things. I'm just gonna have to make a whole lot more videos on this boat and my fishing trips and things like that. So if you're into that sort of thing, or bikes and bugs, boats, beyond, do me a favor and slug that bug. Come back and check in on me, all right? Cheers, see you then.
It gets muscles on its skin, so it gets the hose again.
Do me a favor and slug that bug, man. Come back and check in on me. Excuse you. Jesus. All right?